Hey everybody, Anna Sabramowitz here. Thank you so much for joining me. Listen, today's session, I really want to talk about portfolio pieces because I'm a curious monkey and I look at a lot of portfolio pieces out there because I like to be inspired, but I'm sensing there's a bit of a trend there, and I just want to give you some tips on when you're designing your very own portfolio piece for e-learning and scenarios, how to do this well. All right, so uh, the reason I'm telling you this is not because I know everything about all kinds of portfolio pieces. It's not true. I'm telling you this because, one, people have emailed me trying to get jobs with me, and they'll send me their pieces. And I get to look at them and then make a distinction as to whether that person is somebody I would actually work with. And the other part is that I've put out quite a few portfolio pieces and demo pieces and used them to get client work. And there were several of them that were complete flops. And there's a reason why. The reason is because I used the wrong approach when it comes to who was my target audience. So here's what I'm seeing. I'm going to other people's portfolio pieces, and what I see there is people who are trying to create a portfolio piece by working with just themselves. They don't talk to other people. They don't test their piece with other people. They don't get feedback on what they're doing. And so what happens is they create, I'm sorry, most of the times it's terrible experiences. And when you work in a silo, basically in your own vacuum, you really can't tell when your work sucks. You really can't tell when you're not being clear. So that's one. So you have to, if you're building a portfolio piece, nobody's going to try and steal your work. The portfolio piece is supposed to showcase your skill set and your way of working with people. So do that. Work with other people on your portfolio piece so that you can showcase that you are a team player, that you are able to work with experts. If you create something all by yourself, never get any feedback, guess what? I don't think you're going to be a good team player, because guess what? E-learning takes collaboration. Holy moly, so much work, right? You got to work together. You got to deal with people's opinions, ideas, their ideas about what learning is, their ideas about how much content you should include. There's so much going on in there. And then you create a portfolio piece in your closet, oh yeah, right? It's different. So make sure you are working with experts and your target audience. So that's one. Now there's another thing here. So what happens is when you work on your portfolio piece all by yourself, guess who your expert is? You, right? And there's a lot of us who think that we could do a piece for, let's say, our portfolio about instructional design. Now, that's great. And I love how people are like, what's the best way to learn and all that stuff. But see, the thing is, our customers most times aren't other instructional designers. Our customers aren't verifying whether we understand learning theory. Our customers are businesses, corporations, and, well, they're also people, but people who are trying to solve a problem. And when you design a portfolio piece that's trying to teach people about learning, that's not solving a problem. That's just telling people how smart you are about learning, right? That's just telling people how awesome you understand learning theories or how you understand branching scenarios. A guy who's running like a multi-million-dollar company selling widgets is not going to care about you understanding learning theory. What he's going to care about is whether you can create an engaging experience that drives his learners, people at his workplace, to do something differently, that drives them to behavior change, right? He does not care whether you know the terms. So what I suggest is we create these, our portfolio pieces to be, really think about it. Why are you creating that portfolio piece? You want it to showcase who you are, what you do, your ethos as well, like what you believe in. A lot of people make it so cold and academic. This could be your opportunity. This is the chance where you're the 100% owner driver of this. And you don't have to fight the status quo here. You don't have to You can pick the SME you want to work with. That's wonderful. That actually came up in a conversation yesterday with a client. You get to pick your subject matter expert. So pick somebody you love, because it'll be easier for you to create that portfolio piece. Also, when you're working with the expert, realize that the expert is actually just a small piece of your portfolio piece. Because what happens is the portfolio piece, oh, hello, Letrek. Glad to have you here. Your portfolio piece is supposed to be, think about this. Think about there's a problem in the world out there somewhere, and it bugs you. And you want to make that problem disappear, go away, or get better. Your portfolio piece should be trying to solve that problem. I'm not saying end world hunger, although why not? Why not go for it, right? Why not figure out who you can impact that would actually have a positive result? And imagine if your portfolio piece is also something that, this is what we're trying to get to. It's shareable, it's viral, people find it useful and they want to go through it, even though they don't have any kind of incentive to do so other than they are enjoying the experience. That is a fantastic feeling, right? So what you want to do is, when you're designing your portfolio piece, I want you to consider this. You're the boss. You can work with whoever you want. This can be about solving a problem. It really needs to be about solving a problem, not showcasing your knowledge. So find a problem you want to solve, and how can you solve it with this portfolio piece? If it's a scenario, what's the story? What's the aha? A target group, a group of people needs to have, and then talk to those people. Figure out why they're having those issues. What drives them? What are the things? And then you can create something magical. They will spread it for you because they'll find it useful. They'll find it beautiful. And this is the other thing you can do, is let's say you want to really specialize in a certain area, right? Well, right now, this is your opportunity to pick people in certain disciplines, in certain audiences that you really want to work with. And your portfolio piece should represent who you want to work with. Because guess what? You're already going to look like a person who's in that niche, who's in that business. So here's my advice for your portfolio piece. Get focused. It's on you, right? You can do whatever you want. You don't have to go corporate, follow weird rules. You can be as creative and as useful as you want to be. Just make sure you test it with a target learner. You're not developing in a silo, so that the piece comes out as not something that you cobbled together and you never got any feedback on it, because that doesn't show good teamwork either. But imagine now you can show this portfolio piece and say, listen, I came up with this idea, but I didn't know if it was going to resonate. So what I did is I decided to talk to the end users, talk to an expert in that area, combine those things into a powerful story. And now, look, I've tested it on people. They gave me feedback. I refined it. This is an experience they're enjoying. I hope you enjoy it too. Is that awesome? And then you can show your progress as well, as a person who's worked with other people and a team, is able to gather feedback, is able to incorporate it, is able to reflect on their work, and is not too attached to their design because they know that the end product really has to resonate with the learner. It's not about them, right? So I hope that was helpful. I mean, those are the things that we really want to make sure we're doing. And the other thing I suggest is that, this is kind of interesting. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Yeah, definitely. Sonia said that's a great point. Your portfolio represents your work and should target your desired client, right? Who do you want to work more with, right? So that's cool. That's great. You see that too. Yeah, and then Lautrec said an expert is the cornerstone, the basic pillar, the one who plans, designs, understands problems, and solves them. Yes, but it is an iterative process the whole time, right? It's like you're the learning expert, but then you also need a content or a subject matter expert, and also you need a practitioner. So those things there's many facets, right, to that. And this is the other thing I wanted to suggest, because it's kind of weird, and I don't know if you'll agree with me. I don't know what you guys will think, but you go to a, let's say you're going through a demo or an experience, and you're interested and engaged, let's say, and it ends after scene 1, and then it goes into filler text like lorem ipsum or option here, another alternative option here, and it doesn't finish, it doesn't satisfy you. And I think that that's a mistake. I think if you create something that's, and put it out there, just wanting to solve that problem without even wanting to get any work from it. Just say, this is my, like my piece that's going to live out there and help people. In 10 years, it's still going to help people. Let's say you think about it that way. Finish it. Give finish the story, finish the feedback, finish the experience. Because I think one of the things that happens is when somebody's going through your demo, they'll get excited, and then you kind of like, let them down because you never actually completed. So it kind of looks like you're not a finisher. So, and also it leaves them with a feeling of like nothing, they didn't learn anything, right? One of the things that you want people to do is, why are they going through it? Think about it. The first thing you want people to do is to have an aha moment, a great experience. That's why some of the best examples out there that get people inspired are the ones that finish that experience. Think about Haji Kamal, complete experience, right? If you haven't seen Haji Kamal, check it out. But Haji Kamal is about that, a complete experience. Broken Coworker, why does it work? A complete experience. So there's several, and there's even several branch track examples, which I'll put in the links, that they finish the experience for you. Follow through on your promises, for sure. Yeah, and it's also the creation of a portfolio piece. Like, it's kind of funny because when you get into e-learning and you're creating a single interaction, that's kind of easy. But to then think about, how do I set this up? Where do I give the feedback? What do I put in it so people will actually read it? And then wrap that up into like this package. Like, that takes all kinds of different kinds of thinking, right? And I think that's a great experience to share, because there's so many more pieces to that, and it probably would give the learner a better experience, your target audience, and the person who you're trying to say, hey, look at what I created from end to end. It's a seamless, beautiful thing, right? So I hope that was helpful, and you enjoyed my little rant. But maybe you got a few little nuggets of inspiration from it that would actually promote you to do things a little bit differently, because that's what learning is. Learning is changing our behavior to do something differently, right? So hopefully you learned something today. And if you have any questions, please post them underneath the video. I do incorporate them into my videos if I can, and if not, then I'll answer it in the comments. All right, so have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. And Sonia and Latrec, thank you so much for contributing and giving me your feedback. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.